deaf to anything that walks or crawls. Where I go, nothing stands in my way. We crushed the stunties on Golgotha. We caught on one eye when the speed freaks blew up the Huey's big tanks to bits. And I let him go, cause good enemies is hard to find. And orcs need good enemies to fight. But they need meat to eat and grog to drink. Guys more cunning than a crop and more killing than a dread. The boys that follow me can't be beat or pissing out. We shoved the marine boys and our boss poles who's covered in the helmets we took from the deadens. We burned their fort and killed their bosses and left nothing but ruins behind. I'm Warlord, Gusto, Magura, Fracker, and I speak with the word of the gods. We is gonna stomp the universe flat and kill anything that fights back. We is gonna do this cause we're the orcs and we're made to fight and win. Warlord, Gusto, Magura, Fracker. Warlord, Gusto, Magura, Fracker. Warlord, Gusto, Magura, Fracker. Yarrick, Yarrick, Yarrick. Rush, rush, rush. Yarrick, Yarrick, Yarrick. Rush, rush, rush. Yarrick, Yarrick. On the edge of Gork and Mork, they sent me to rouse out the boys to crush and kill. Cause the boys have forgotten what they're here for. I was one of the boys till the gods smashed me in the head. And I remembered that orcs was meant to conquer and to make slaves of everything they don't kill. I'm the prophet of the war and all worlds burn in my blueprints. On Armageddon, I led the boys through the fire deserts and smashed the Huey's metal cities to scrap. I fought Yarrick on one eye, the Tartarus, and he fought good, but we smashed this city too. I'm deaf to anything that walks or crawls. Where I go, nothing stands in my way. We crushed the stunties on Golgotha. We caught on one eye when the speedy freaks blew up the Huey's big tanks to bits. And I let it go, cause good enemies is hard to find. And orcs need good enemies to fight. But they need meat to eat and grog to drink. Guys more cunning than a crop and more killing than a dread. The boys that follow me can't be beat or pissing out. We shoved the marine boys and our boss poles who's covered in the helmets we took from the deadens. We burned their fort and killed their bosses and left nothing but ruins behind. I'm Warlord, Gusto, Magura, Fracker, and I speak with the word of the gods. We is gonna stomp the universe flat and kill anything that fights back. We is gonna do this cause we're the orcs and we're made to fight and win. Warlord, Gusto, Magura, Fracker. Warlord.
Well, all going well, guys. We should be live. Please comment in the chat if you can, if we are live. I have no idea. It's the first time I'm doing this, guys, and we're still waiting for our special guest. Could you believe it? Yeah, he's a bit under the weather. So Garth might join us later. I hope you enjoyed that track. It was from Garth's live stream that he does usually on a Saturday or Sunday morning. They're really entertaining, so I thought I'd give you a sample of one of Garth's special tracks. And Garth is hanging out here, he says. So hopefully you'll jump into the chat later on. But guys, look, thank you very much for waiting. I know it's been almost 30 minutes past the allotted time, so I really appreciate you hanging in there and waiting for us. So if you're there, please comment to say hello, and as I just want to check see if it's actually connected to YouTube at all. I'm not sure. I have no idea. So this is the live stream void. I have no idea where I am. I'm just in a room looking at a screen. So please, if you're there, I know there are 3 people watching. Thank you very much for coming along to check out what's happening in this live stream. No expert at this at all. It's live. Okay, thanks, Garf. So Garf's typing in the background, trying to recover from a hangover. We had a very interesting discussion very early in the UK this morning when we were doing a test early today. And yeah, I think Garf's had a few, and now he's feeling the pain as he's getting a bit older, aren't you, mate? Hey? I know how that feels, buddy. So hopefully you can come in, have our hobby chat. I've got camera set up. I've got some banners I'll be working on today. I know Garf's going to be working on something as well. He'll be painting up something as well. What was it called? Mr. Blobby? He was teaching me about Mr. Blobby in the UK. I had no idea who or what the hell Mr. Blobby was. So I got an educational presentation this morning about Mr. Blobby. It's something to do with a tank. I don't know. You'll have to watch Garf and see what he's doing. I have no idea what that is. The Blobby tank. Okay. All right. We'll look forward to the Blobby tank. It's something new for me too. Also, we've got a bit of a small presentation. I want to show Garf some amazing work in our Discord community from painters on there in the Ebby Led channel. 3 highlighted people that I want to bring out every time to show, you guys as well, how creative some of our members are and how bloody awesome they are. So I've tagged you guys as glorious bastards. That's what I'm calling this segment. Now, as far as this YouTube stream is concerned, I couldn't really nail down a name, but Mark on our Discord said something like Saturday Wight Live. I thought it was quite cool one. I thought that sort of was had a nice ring to it, so I chose that for now. And the whole object of this live stream for me was to bring on a creator, someone maybe a YouTube creator or presenter, maybe a YouTuber, maybe just one of my patrons, maybe one of my friends, one of someone in the Discord community, maybe one of you guys who want to come out and hang out with me and just do some hobby. And it might be just like once a month we do this. And it'd be just nice to have that interactivity, because I've done live streams during COVID. It's a very lonely, isolated experience. Okay, we've got people commenting on the chat, but I like to have a conversation where you guys can enjoy. Well, it's almost like the podcast, but as a live podcast in a way. So Garf is not unfamiliar with the Crown of Command. He has been on with me. I don't know how long ago now. Maybe 2 years ago. Feels like a long time. And I discovered Garf's channel. This is Garf's workshop channel. Would have been during COVID, and I just noticed he was painting some space orcs, and I thought I'll go and click on that because I was always looking for Old Hammer content, and I saw that he presented it in a very unique way. He had some kind of funky music playing in the background, and people can interact with him with stickers, and they had some kind of little sound clip attached to those stickers, and I really enjoyed that as well. So it was just cool just to chill out with him, watching him paint, and he had a sort of a unique sort of setup too. So you could see like him in the corner, but then you see on the main screen like what he was painting and what he was doing, and he was mainly doing commissions for people. So I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, I thought and I've been watching a lot of live streams. Hey, how you going, Colossus? How you going, mate? Thanks very much for coming in. I know you're one of Garf's loyal followers, mate. So thank you very much for popping in and saying hello. This might be a strange time. I mean, I'm in Japan, of course. I'm the madman in Japan. It's like now 8:35 p.m. here, around about there. It's about 11:30 in the morning in the UK. So depending where you are in the world, it could be a good time, it could be a bad time. We might have to schedule it a bit later, maybe 9 p.m. my time, 12 p.m. for you guys over there, maybe in the next one. We'll see. But we could have guests from America, we could have guests from UK or Europe, we could have guests from Japan. Who knows? That's it. I'm from your future, mate. That's it, buddy. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? Hey, how you going? Oh, wow, some dude on YouTube. Oh, Tim, how you going, mate? I'd like to have you on at one stage. It'd be good fun to talk with you, buddy, over in Germany. So yeah, like I watched Tim's some dude on YouTube's live streams on when's that, Wednesday. So I've enjoyed that. The Musty Wargamers, and I hope the Musty Wargamers will come on at some stage and have a say hello. Really enjoyed their live streams. There's like 4 guys, and they're all based in the US and Canada, and they do it every second Friday, and they just sit there just painting and chatting and stuff. And I really enjoy that and just interacting because I sit at home all day and paint, as you know, Everleigh Studios. So I sit here and paint all day. So I'm looking for something to interact with. So live streams have been a great way for me to get in touch with other people and see what they're doing and all that kind of stuff. We've got Matt Simon here from Nottingham. Mate, you're in the lead belt. Good on you, buddy. Thanks very much for joining us. Thursdays it is for us. Maybe Wednesday for you. Yes, it is. It's sorry, Tuesdays for you. Sorry, yeah, and Wednesday for me. Wednesday morning, I usually get on if you guys are on in the morning when I get up early in the morning, I go onto Twitch and you guys are there, or catch it on the after late on YouTube or whatever. Dointer, hey mate, fellow Aussie, hope you're doing well. Thanks, mate. I'm doing very well, thank you. Really appreciate you coming on, buddy. That's great. So yeah, as you know, just me. I'm just waiting for Garf to jump on. He's still recovering from his hangover. So if he's and PeerTube. Okay, I've never been to PeerTube, Tim, so I need to check it out, mate. But I'm happy with YouTube. I know a lot of people sort of begrudge it, but I think they provide a wonderful service. Yeah, okay, you've got to put up with ads, and that's that's part of what this is. I mean, they've got to survive on ads. That they're giving you an incredible platform to present your videos and content on. So I think hand in hand they do a good job. Not trying to crawl up their ass or anything like that. not trying to get the analytics up, but I take it for what it is. Okay, so Colossus asked a really great question. What's been your favorite commission to paint so far? I think, and there've been some really good ones. I started off with Carnifex's Chaos Army. That was Slaanesh, pretty much all Slaanesh, and that was really good. The Noise Marines, I really enjoyed those. The Renegades I really like doing as well. The Chaos Champions I like doing. But I think my favorite ones of all of them would be the Phoenix Lords I did for Tim Baxter. I hope Tim will come up today and say hello. Yeah, really enjoy doing those a lot. And I will. He said he will send me all of the Space Marine characters, so like from Ultramarines, Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Space Wolves. So I'll get to do those at some point for him, which would be wonderful. I think he's just using those display miniatures in his hobby room. So, is it Dr. Ol? There you go, mate. PeerTube is a beast of itself, federated servers, and you could run your own if hosting a ton of video files wouldn't be so bloody expensive. Okay. What's the old hangover cure? Brandy. It was a Bundy and Coke. Maybe you can suggest that to him. I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea to put Garth through another, liver toxic beverage. I don't think that's a good idea. I spoke to him this morning and he was really munted. I love that word, the British word munted. Really pissed off his head. So I had a very interesting discussion with him, and he gave me a just before he hung up abruptly. He gave me a I don't even know what it was. Maybe you can explain it. Basically, I was trying to speak in a Cockney accent, and I think maybe he got a little bit upset. I was trying to speak like an orc, and he is the orc. I mean, I should know my place. I mean, I can't impersonate the great man himself. I mean, he is a living embodiment of orc and gork. So hopefully be on soon. Garf, you still there, mate? What's going on, buddy? Drown that coffee down you. Get that toast down your gullet and get back on here. You've got people here to talk to, buddy. So No, 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 no. I don't want to upset him. I can understand. He's keeping that. He's the one he's the one with the York voice. So I'll let just wait till he comes on. You don't want to hear the Aussie accented York voice. I mean, that sounds terrible. Might sound okay to me, but for other people, it might sound bloody terrible. Actually, Garf was very, very kind. He did all the voiceovers for the which one was it? Why the Orcs book, when I did that review of that book. And I asked him, would you want to do the Orc voices? Because if I did it, it would just sound terrible. But if he did it, it would sound perfect because he does it such a great job. So he very kindly sent me all the sound files, and I put that in that video. So if you haven't seen that, go and check it out on my channel. I think it's just called Why the Orcs book review. It's like a Rogue Trader book. And when it gets down to the clans, individual clans, there's like a short sort of blurb in there, some lot of flavor text, and he basically read all of that, which is great. Okay, Tim, no problem, mate. Take care. Thank you very much for coming in and saying hello. I really appreciate it, buddy, and enjoy doing the laundry. Okay, no problem. Okay, I'll do that, man. I'll get in touch soon. No problem. Thank you. So yeah, go and check that out. That's really cool. So for now, you just have to put up with me, my Aussie accent, and we'll have to see if he comes on later. But yeah, what I was going to say next. Very good. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe on somebody on YouTube's channel and mine as well. I mean, it does help. I mean, I don't really like saying it, and I think people will notice that when I do videos. I don't give the whole, analytic blurb that you need to do that YouTube says you need to say to get more hits or whatever. But it does help. Have you painted it with oils? Matt asks. Some washes do well for me. Haven't tried full models yet. That's a good question. I have never tried painting with oils, but I know that other people do it. And I'm trying to think of the guy in Canada who's a really good painter. He used oils on a lot of the Song of Ice and Fire YouTube tutorials or his Patreon videos. Matt's here. How you going, buddy? Good old hangover. You know all about it, buddy, don't you, mate? You got a hangover too. Okay. It seems maybe Saturday's not a good idea. Maybe Sunday's even worse. Maybe that's like the double hangover. But yeah, I've never tried oils. I know that oils, maybe for pigments, they have like special formulated pigments that are oils, and you sort of just for grime and that kind of thing, and oil spills or whatever. I never tried it myself, but oil paints, no, I've never tried it. I think the smell would be a deterrent for me, but I know that they've probably got oil paints now that have no odor whatsoever. But then you've got to work with turpentine, I think, to thin it out. I'm not sure. Again, I have no experience with it. I can't really say that I would be eager to try that. But hey, who knows? Maybe there's some really good things in it. Maybe if I was doing like World War II or something that's really gritty, grimy, big tanks and that kind of stuff, maybe that would be really perfect, a perfect medium for that. So 8 people in the chat. Thank you very much again for joining us today, guys. I'm sorry it's only just me. I hope Garf will be coming in soon, recovering. Maybe his wife will give him a kick up the backside and say, "Get on there, come on. You promised Josh you do the stream today." So we'll see how we go. I don't know how long the stream is for. I think with this setup, with this particular host site, it's only like 2 hours, and that's it for the whole month. So we'll see how we go and see how the conversation develops. But if you have any questions for me, like Matt did, or any other people on the stream, please. Okay, stream issues. Okay, no problem, mate. But if you have any questions for me at all, please fire away. I would love to hear from you. Okay, could be painting related, could be living in Japan related, could be anything like that. Could be like future commissions. Could be about what's coming up on the channel. That's an interesting one. I won't answer that for you. You can ask me. But a hint will be what's behind me on that table over there. That's what I'm working on at the moment. So Dointer says, mate, do you think you'd ever paint up an older elder type army? If so, which craft world? I would love to paint up a rogue trader one. If you're meaning that, yes, I would love to paint like a rogue trader, like we were talking about, like the elder with all the arms attached, like they were just like complete full solid metal models, pre plastic arms and that kind of thing. Yep, I'll definitely want to do it. In terms of craft world, probably Alatok, because one White Dwarf 147 was my very first White Dwarf, and on the very front cover, you had that wonderful Dave Gallagher artwork of the Alatok guardians walking through this, barren wasteland. I think that'll be really nice. The blue and yellow, I like that combination, and I think I would try to do that, mate, if I could. How about yourself? If you had a chance to do an old elder army, what type of craft would you want to paint? Dr. Hall, just to clarify, are you the painter behind the fabulous Eddie Led paint jobs? That's correct. Thank you. Yes, Doctor. I'm the madman in Japan, and everything you see around me is things I've painted either for myself or for commission. In fact, there's a big Genestealer cult army right behind me, and also a Blood Angel army. You probably can't see it because I've got my back to it, but doing a Blood Angel army as well for two fabulous clients, both from Australia, actually. Which have been really wonderful to work on. And you will get to see a preview of both those armies in a very special battle report coming soon. We hope to film that on Monday with my good friend Paul. And when I do that, I'll do a nice showcase of the armies and that kind of thing. I'm working on some terrain as well. I'm just doing some banners for them at the moment. So yes, that is correct. Matt, I think we need some Gorka Morka content. Now, Gorka Morka. I know Matt's a big fan of Gorka Morka, and I know he's painting stuff on our Patreon and our community section. He's showing pictures of his nice Gorka Morka paint jobs and that kind of thing. I've got to be honest, I'm not, because I know that the Bring and Battle guys, they've covered Gorka Morka, and I've not watched their videos yet. I don't know what it is. There's some kind of barrier between me and Gorka Morka. I don't know. Maybe I should get into it and have a look. Maybe it's a fabulous game. Maybe it's just like Necromunda, but in an open landscape. I'm not sure. But it looks like Garf has entered the stage. Okay, let's unleash the beast, Mr. Garf from Garf's Workshop. Buddy, you there?
The excitement. Deary me, man. I mean, who would be a streamer, eh, man? I mean, it's taken about a million years to get it going.
I've gone through my first beer already, just waiting for you. Hey.
Yeah, man. Talk about Gorka Morka, man. Gorka Morka. It's interesting that you said that about Gorka Morka, because I'm exactly the same. As in, like, it was always there, but it was something I never really got into. Do you know what I mean? Like, I preferred Necromunda to Gorka Morka, and, like, on paper, Gorka Morka seemed like the perfect game, but like in practice, I hear it wasn't quite there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. It's something about it. I think maybe the models or something maybe just didn't grab me. I mean, we're talking like post Kev Adams era, right? And
it was strange bases, right? Those little.
Yeah, that's right. They had the really small bases, didn't they? But then, I'm not an expert on Gorka Morka. I shouldn't really say anything about it. I'm not saying anything negative about it because I never played it. Maybe it's a brilliant game, but A, I don't know anybody who has it. B, I've never seen it played. And C, the chance of me ever playing it, I have to go to Matt's house and play it at his house, I think, because he's the second person I know who has a copy of it.
Controversial thing here, man, is I'm not a fan of Blood Bowl. Again, I love everything about Blood Bowl except actually playing Blood Bowl.
You're not alone, though, Garf. You're not alone. I've heard other people say they really dislike it. So
it's
you're not alone there.
Rage-inducing. I find Blood Bowl. I mean, maybe I should play orcs who can't pick up the fucking ball. You know what I mean?
The last week, last 2 weeks ago, I played at Paul's house. We played Blood Bowl, and I've never growled in anger at a dice roll, but I was growling like a demon when that one came up like the third time. I was so pissed off. I was about to pick it up, chuck it.
it's turnover as well, isn't it? So you got a big old plan worked out in your head, and then you send somebody out to pick up a ball and then fumble it, and then it's
like you just need a 2+, you roll the 1, but it's part of the game. It's just like hence those dice never came home with me. They stayed with Paul, and I got some other dice in exchange for those.
they're cursed, are they?
They're cursed. I think they're cursed. I don't want to believe that. I don't want to believe in cursed dice, but that for whatever reason, those dice were just so that was the last time. So Colossus asked a question: when did you first get into Warhammer, and which was your army of choice, Garth?
Oh, mine for me. Colossus knows this question already. I think he's just playing along. He's probably asking you, mate.
No, that's right. You because people don't.
90s.
Mate, so that's why
I was probably about 10. I mean, I'm 39 years old now.
Yeah.
My first foray was like 2nd edition, and like I said, I must have been about 10 years old, and I got the box set, man, the classic. I can't see my arms, like the classic 2nd edition box set with the best John Blanche painting ever.
Yeah.
Hold on. Shut up, Garf.
You did.
Getting duo Garf there. It's cringe.
Yeah. You're doing all right. We're doing all right, mate. You're doing all right.
But it was 2nd edition. I mean, my first love was orcs, like 40k orcs, man. So, am I still here? Have I clonked out?
Mate. Still here, mate. No, perfect. Okay, so that's a great question. Thanks, Colossus. I got into Warhammer with 3rd edition, the 3rd edition rulebook, the core book, but bought the Jurassic Classic, the Regiments of Renown, that box set with all the 10 of each different guys, like 10 goblins, 10 orcs, 10 dwarves, 10 dark elves, 10 skaven. But we just didn't play the game. We just didn't play. We tried to paint the models and that kind of thing. We just never get to play it. So 4th edition is really my first edition, and High Elves was my first army. So thanks for your question, mate.
It's interesting with 3rd edition, like 3rd edition 40k. I mean, for me, a lot of people have a lot of love for 3rd edition, but for me, it's like that's the beginning of the departure. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
It's the beginning of what we've got now, which I'm not gonna pretend to be a lover of modern 40k. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it would suit the channel better if I turned around and went, oh wow, look at these Primaris, and look at this, look how amazing this crappy looking land speeder is, like, but I just can't do it, man. I mean, it's lost a lot of what I feel it used to be,
But that's why I respect you, mate. That's why I respect you. And some other guy asked me that today. Yeah, he said because I talked about him. He's in Germany. I told him about my channel. He said, "Okay, I'll check it out." And he looked at my hits and he said, "Oh well, the reason why you're not getting enough hits is because you're not, your thumbnails are not right, and they have to be like this. You could have a big face on there and all this kind of shit." I said, "Mate, that's not me, mate. You know what I mean?" And
I've tried that, and
yeah,
it just wasn't me, man. I mean, you can see videos on my channel where I tried that, and it's just like you said, it's not you, is it? So it's not where I want it. It's not what I want to do. It's not where I want to be. So I've been that off.
Yeah, but if you really want to be successful in this niche of a hobby, I think you should concentrate on the modern stuff and 40k, and you're on the right track. You know what I mean? Like, delving in nostalgia projects like this, and what we are, like Crown Command, what you are at Gas Workshop, they're for a very select number of people in our sort of age group, that grew up with these games, and maybe for the modern, young guy or middle-aged guy, whatever, who are into the modern stuff.
Do you not think that old hammer's a bit of a fad these days? Because like, I used to be able to pick up like maybe 4 years ago, before COVID anyway, I used to be able to pick up Rogue Trader models for like a couple of quid, right? I mean, like we were talking about it the other day, right? I've got 2 of those egg sentinels, right?
Yeah.
I've got 2 of those bad boys, and they're going for silly money. I mean, I must have picked them up for like a £5 each or something like that. Old Imperial Guard commissars, they go for silly money now. Like I think there is a market for it, and even if you look at like some of the big boy like Warhammer and Games Workshop channels. Oh, sorry, it's not Games Workshop anymore. It's Warhammer, isn't it? That's what I just said. You know, if you look at these like big boy channels, a lot of them are doing old Hammer videos. Now, my sneaking suspicion is that they know that, you know, there is a market for old Hammer stuff out there, but also they're sick of the modern stuff. And they're like, all right, I can pull a little, you know, I can add a little bit of passion into this video. Actually, this is something I enjoy, as opposed to with the new box set came out last week. Let's do like, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah. But you know, like that's why I liked your channel, right? Because people who stick to their guns and say, okay, this is what I like and this is what I'm going to present, and hopefully people out there will like it too, and you know, and you gather a following of people, and they support you in that kind of thing, which you've done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, the danger is that you know, when you're outspoken, obviously you're asking for it's the internet. You know, you're asking for for hate, like, you know. So I mean, I've got my fair share of naysayers and detractors, shall we say? But
yeah. Okay. Well, I've got a few questions here. Matt was saying was watching Garf's Final Liberation videos.
Yes, I was just about to respond to that.
Yeah, respond to that, mate, because that I've watched those too. I really enjoyed, because I'd never seen that game before until I watched your video.
Never seen Final Liberation, mate.
Never seen it, mate. And I was so astonished.
I thought, that excitement in my voice there just went up.
Second edition
several. Oh, mate, Final Liberation is the best. It's the best 40k game.
Yeah,
like by far. Like actually, Rogue Trader. Incidentally, speaking about modern 40k, I was pleasantly surprised with Rogue Trader, and I wouldn't have bought it, but a mate of mine, you know, his present for you've just had a kick, Garf, here you go, have Rogue Trader. So he bought that for me. I wouldn't have bought it because it's like 40 quid. But yeah, man, I'm pleasantly surprised with that, Josh, mate. Like, get on it, mate. Do a stream on it, mate.
I'm running a Mac, so that's a problem. I can't use it unless it's like a Windows operated PC, unfortunately. I did play Shadow of the Horned Rat. Now this could be it, because I know that Matt mentions that too in this question, but when I had my shitty...
a bit of a funny one, Shadow of the Horned Rat, wasn't it?
Oh, it was insane. It was just incredible. It was a crazy game. But
yeah, but I mean, it was like unnecessarily difficult.
Yeah, no, it was of its time. I think it was released in 1995, 1996 or something like that, or whatever. So it was,
it's about the same time as Final Liberation.
I think they closely were released at the same time, because it was the same developer basically.
But I mean, going Final Liberation, Josh. Have you seen the cutscenes?
Oh yeah, I love, because I've been watching I watched the whole video just on the cutscenes. I just watched it from like beginning to the end. It's brilliant. I think it's absolutely awesome. You know, I'd love to experience it.
How the hell did somebody just do that on my channel?
No, it's Matt. Brilliant, mate. See, there you go.
Somebody just subscribed on YouTube. I think.
Yeah, great. That's awesome. That's what you're here for. Mate. That's what you're here for. Good on you, Matt. Well done. Okay.
Well, welcome, Matt W. I don't know if he's watching this, but he's been immortalised now on your channel, mate.
But yeah, the when I had my Surface Shitty Pro, right? Have you used one of those bloody things, those tablets?
No.
Surface Pro, Microsoft Surface Pro. Don't ever buy one, mate, because it's garbage. Anyhow, that thing, I could actually download the Shadow of the Horned Rat and actually use it as a touch screen on the tablet. I could use my finger to touch and that kind of thing to move it. I didn't need a mouse. It was
Yeah,
brilliant.
I mean,
So you could just hammer that, like the fist, whatever the symbol was, to attack and that kind of thing and that kind of stuff.
I think one of the most difficult things to watch is because
Yeah.
this was in PS1 era, isn't it? So like my mate had Warcraft 2 and
Right.
he had Shadow of the Horned Rat, but I mean it's on a PS1 and you're playing an RTS with a controller. That's
Oh, it's crazy. That's my first experience of playing Shadow of the Horned Rat on the PS1.
yeah,
And of
I can
course, I
imagine.
just gave up in like 10 minutes, because
Yeah,
it was
playing
unplayable.
playing a game like that, man, with a controller is not ideal. Let's put it that way. But I mean, again, like if you're playing like even like something like Final Liberation, which is turn based, right?
Mm,
Just with a controller, like you're gonna. It just takes forever.
yeah,
But
that's right.
man, what my dream is, right? Maybe somebody out there will hear it, right? Final Liberation has got slots built in for it for upgrades. I mean, there's only two factions in it. There's only Orcs and there's only Imperial Guard or the Imperium or whatever. I mean, but there are actually slots within the game that say Codex Tyranids, Codex Chaos, and stuff like that. But they're just empty. They're like, they don't have coming soon. But I mean, basically, that's what they're there for. And obviously, it didn't take off enough for them to follow up on that.
Yeah.
And I think that Final Liberation is the best like rendition of like the tabletop experience with a little bit more to
Yeah.
it, like, and all the voices and all the graphics and stuff are like that proper 90s like sort of feel to it. Maybe you got like Mordians and stuff like that, just click on your bloke, it's a commissar. And like, when they get gatted, they're like, got like proper 90s sort of sounds to it. And all of the, like I said, all of the videos for it as well are like the FMV or whatever it is like, it's not computer graphics. It's like, oh mate, that's actually a geezer in a Space Marine suit.
Yeah.
And he's obviously a bloke from the shop because he's the most un-Space Marine you've ever like seen. It's like that. You've seen what's it called? It was like a Games Day trailer or whatever. No, there's two. There's a couple of things actually. There's that.
What, the Space
Is
Hulk
it
one?
called it? No, is it the Space Hulk one's class?
Yeah, it's good.
I've seen my enemy. It isn't an abomination. That guy's class. He can actually play a Space Marine. But what is it? Is it called like Inquisitor or something like that? Somebody in the chat will know. It's like a 15-minute long movie or whatever, and they're like some Dark Angels go down with an Inquisitor to like a planet, and then like they bump into like a Berserker and one of those corn dog things. What are they called? Juggernauts.
Fleshhound.
Yeah. No, it's not flesh. It's one of the big ones, man. Like
what? Bloodletter.
I thought it was a Juggernaut.
Oh, Juggernaut. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, well, they bump into one of those, but I mean, it's obvious that the geezer that they've got playing the main Dark Angel is just some bloke from the shop. Do you know what I mean? And he's like, they shall know no fear, but he's like, that's basically his voice. Inquisitor, no, we shan't do this. And then, so, oh mate, he forgot. He didn't go through the fear training of Space Marines, and also it really irks me that like he doesn't have a backpack. All the other Space Marines have a backpack, but for some reason he doesn't have a backpack because he's a super. Yeah, he's a super solid Dark Angel who doesn't need a power pack, mate. He just struts around in like non-powered power armor, like proper hard nut, mate.
Oh, well, that reminds me actually. I don't know if you're familiar with Johnny Watson Gaming. You know Johnny Watson Gaming? Okay, he did the Howling Griffin Army based on Fred Reed's collection that he did way back in the 90s and Whiteboard
Mate,
magazine. It was
I can't look at Howling Griffins without grimacing and just thinking, good God, man, that is like the most difficult paint scheme going. Do you know what I mean? Not only has it got like the straight line, but you've got red and yellow on the go there. Like that's if you want a Howling Griffin army, man, you got to be a glutton, mate. But it looks sick when it's done. But Jesus Christ, mate, that is a tough paint job, man. Well, you're the heavy metal chap. How would you tackle such a situation?
Prime white, my friend. Prime white. You can't go wrong.
How would you get the straight line? I mean, would you like use masking tape, or would you just
Garf, you just got to paint it on, mate. Just paint it on. Paint the line. You can do it.
Well, I don't know if that's within my ability, mate. I mean, I think my painting's all right, but actually, my painting is secretly shit.
I think it's pretty good, mate. You
No, I've just worked out how to cover my my failings. As in, I'm actually not very neat, but you know, a little bit of known oil will do wonders, mate.
I'll
just say it's Blanchitsu style, mate.
What's called Agrath Earthshade? Is it Agrax Earthshade?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to old mate on the podcast the other day about it, Mick. And Agrax Earthshade just seems to be one of those, like a dipping solution for people. Like they just, instead of dipping, they just wash it and bathe it in that stuff, and everything turns all browny, blacky kind of color. You know what I mean? Like just it's like an
it's a shame. It's a shame because I mean that's generally what a lot of people tend. You know, I see that a lot. Is like, you know, they'll wash the whole thing in Known Oil, and they'll wash the whole thing in Agrax. But you have washes that are that color, so why not spend the extra couple of seconds instead of just bathing it in Known Oil? Like use the Known Oil for like the pin lining or whatever it is, and then, you know, if you're gonna wash an ultramarine, why wash it in black? Like, you know, why not just wash it in blue? Like, you know, I see, like, you know, the kind of imposter syndrome kicks in a lot. Like when I watch, like, you know, because people pay me to paint models, and then I look online, and like, you know, it must be, you know, for somebody just getting into the hobby, like, you know, it was bad enough in the 90s when you pick up a how-to painting guide, which was prime, base coat, highlight, golden demon. and that was your painting guide back then. But like, you know, in a way, I feel like it must be worse for these sort of people now. Like you go on Instagram and stuff, and you see these like insane models, like insanely painted models, and there'll be like a 2-minute video of like how to get like, you know, this perfect thing, and you're like, mate, that didn't, like, you ain't 10.5 of what really is going. You've made a video, right? But that technique that you're talking about there, mate, you haven't put in the video at all that took you like 5 hours to paint that backpack, or like to paint that satchel. You know what I mean? And like for the average hobbyist, right, you're not going to spend 5 hours painting a grenade. Like, you know what I mean? You've got a whole army to paint, and it's this kind of like unrealistic view of, you know, where your army's going to be. Like, does that make sense to you? Or?
It's a funny one because, like, a golden demon, and sorry, we'll get back to the questions from our people on the chat as well in a minute. But you know, like I look at golden demon, I see the entries like the modern ones now, and I can look at them in awe and appreciation of all the time and talent that would have taken to produce that one vignette or one model or whatever. But at the same time, I think I'm more impressed when I see someone to do an entire army. You know what I mean? Because I'm a gamer, you know, foremost, I'm a gamer. I paint to game kind of thing. You know what I mean? I don't paint to compete.
Yeah. Well, that's what we said multiple times, is there's generally 3 facets to the hobby, which is lore, painting, or the hobby bit, you know, building, painting and all that lot, and then the actual playing the game. For me, like generally people like sway towards two more. Look, for me, it's the lore and the stories and the hobby aspect. And I'll be honest with you, mate, if I never played a game of 40k ever again in my life, it wouldn't bother me. Right? I really don't enjoy, especially the modern sort of version of the game. I really don't enjoy it that much because there's no sort of feeling of story with it, or it's not very thematic. It's just like, all right, here's a card, let's roll some dice and let's move. That's what I feel like. So for you, you're what, gaming and hobby, and then the lore is something a little bit less, or
I don't know. I don't know about the lore. I really don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
oh, there we go. Yeah, so I'm right.
really, it's not really my forte. Now, that's probably because I'm a bit simple. I don't read so much, and because when I looked at army books and I looked at White Dwarves, it was only the images or the miniatures. That was all I was interested in.
Yeah.
The written literature wasn't such a gravitating feature of the White Dwarfs for me, or the books. But I've become to appreciate Bill King's writing later on. Now, coming back to it, getting the old Warhammer books and stuff like that, reading especially the High Elf books, lore and that kind of thing, was just brilliant. Like the writing behind that, it just really makes you feel passionate about doing the project. When you get to paint it. So it's become more important to me later, but I don't memorize that sort of stuff. I know guys like
oh man, that's exactly what I was just about to say, man. I mean, I feel like I've done lore videos and stuff like that, man. I mean, this was sort of COVID when I started the channel, and I kind of dipped my toe, and that's what I started with lore videos. And now, like, there's about 1 million different lore channels, like, you know what I mean? But the thing is with the lore these days is that I find that people treat it as if it's like a historical reenactment or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like I always thought, right? It's like, I'm actually going to make a little video on this. Actually, it's like, because in the past you'd be like, all right, there's a planet here, and like, whatever it may be. I mean, like, controversial subject. There's female space marines or whatever, right? Let's just say there's female space marines on this planet, right, in the Imperium, which is vast, right? In the old days, you would just go, yeah, well, Imperial records are messed up, mate. Like, they don't know what's going on, right? And you could just literally write in like every. Why is there a bunch of Eldar wearing like pink tutus and like, well, that's Imperial records, mate. Like, they don't know what's going on. Like, look, what's going on with these like red orcs? Like, well, Imperial records don't, like, they don't record everything. But now the way that people take it is like, this is the law. This is what happened. It's like, although I like the Horus Heresy books and stuff, I kind of lament. I miss the fact that, like, in the 90s, man, like the Horus Heresy was literally like 1 or 2 stories, like as in 2 pages long. It's like, all right, Horus went onto the battle barge and he killed Sanguinius, and and then like you just kind of filled in the gaps, and you're like, oh man, imagine if this happened. Oh, I wonder what that happened. Like, I'm sorry to say, Iron Warriors, but a fairly non-important Primarch, if you can say such a thing, like Perturabo, he was just like a footnote somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like, now he's got like about 20 books dedicated to him. But like, if you'd go into like the 90s, you're like Perturabo, and you like did a little Google search or whatever, like, how much he was mentioned. He was probably mentioned about 4 times or something,
I've never heard of
Someone
it.
like say, well, there we go. Like, he's the Primarch of the Iron Warriors, mate. Perturabo. Great name. Show Primarch.
But I think for you, Garf, you would enjoy Rogue Trader with like a GM. You know what I mean? Like someone setting out a scenario, someone setting out the narrative.
Yeah.
Your own leisure. You know what I mean? And really get behind what the scenario is. And
I mean, when I play when I play D&D, it's less about, some people just want to fight and loot bodies. For me, like if I'm playing D&D, or like you said, like Rogue Trader or something like that, I just want to talk, man. I just want to make stories and do stuff. Like the actual battle and stuff is inconsequent. Inconsequential. I'm still hanging, man. I can't talk properly today.
I'm getting there, man. It's okay. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, it's more of the experience. It's the maybe hang out with your mates, and then just the game stuff is kind of just like it's not so important. I just want to have fun, and enjoy rolling dice, and seeing my crazy orcs do some crazy stuff on the table.
Yeah. I played. Have you played Death Watch?
No.
Maybe some people in the chat
Probably.
see if they've had any dealings with it.
Let's have a look here because
that's a role play game.
So we had this con here before, and I think it's Duin Wanna. I think that's probably how to pronounce his username. But ironically, the best 40k models are the oldest one, is my opinion, the Eldar. I didn't grow up with the old Hammer, but I've gravitated over the years to it instead of the newer stuff. Now I find
that guy's a legend, mate. That guy knows what's going down.
Well, that's why I found more and more of that, because in our Discord this morning, I talked to a really young guy from Norway and another young guy from Germany, and like really young, and they're really liking the older metal models and that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like the old Hammer stuff, more than the new stuff. So it's not that you're alone there, mate. So right. I think people are gravitating.
There we go. That's a modern model, isn't it? And now,
the problem,
I mean, the problem with these, man, is like literally, like the modern models, man. Every single part of him has some shit on it.
Yeah,
everything. Right. See this apothecary here. This is actually a decent model. I actually like this because it suffers less than some of the other modern models, right? But I mean, like, if we really look at him, you're like, does he need 50 purity seals stuck there? Does he need that, whatever that is, right? And the dumbest thing, right, is he's got a skull there. You see that, right?
yeah.
Right now, when I look at that skull, I'm like, the sculptor must have gone, there's an empty space there. I have to put something there, right? And then that's what we need, isn't it? That's what we need. Look, he's looking a bit cross-eyed in the camera for some reason. Like, oh, you guys. I don't know why he doesn't look cross-eyed in real life.
Love that model, love it.
But yeah, like something like this. So, I mean, like if this was a modern GW model, he would have about 50 grenades hanging off him, and he'd have several purity seals stuck to his face. Do you know what I mean? It's just unnecessary.
Yeah. No, you can't, like, and it's very.
I mean, like, we've got, like a classic model like that.
Death Skull, is he? Death Skull, sorry, Death Skull.
This guy, he's a Death Skull. Yeah.
Yep, love it.
But then, like I said, I mean, like, matey boy here, look, how much stuff does he want hanging off him? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Yeah, maybe some people get, like we talked about this morning, some people might enjoy putting those.
So, mate, you'll enjoy that, look.
Yeah, like the second edition avatar. Yep.
Yeah, I painted this a long time ago, man.
Yep. Yeah, great model.
Pube on him, don't tell anyone.
Have you seen the alternative sculpt from Jez Gooden of that model, Garf?
What you mean, the little minute? No,
one. He actually designed a green for the avatar for second edition that was never produced. It's an unreleased.
I tell you, I met Jez Goodwin at Warhammer World.
I thought you said you met Jervis Johnson.
No, it was just Goodwin. I got confused.
Mate, you were well hunted last night. I can tell you now. You were just off your face.
No, me and a couple of my mates, we actually bumped into Jez Goodwin. I didn't know him from Adam, mate. My mate went, Garf, what is that? That's fucking Jez Goodwin over there. I went, what are you talking about, mate? It's like, that's fucking Jez Goodwin. I know it is. He tries to beat up old Astra, and I'm like, does he? was like, I thought, I'll just go out there. Like, I think we bought him a few shots on that, man. Like, seriously, mate, the geezer's voice is savage.
Oh,
I've got
mate,
a
so
low,
great.
I've
Yeah.
got a low voice, but yeah, he's like, yeah, this is what he said, man. He was like, we were talking about new models, mate, and he was like, yeah, I tried like sculpting on the computer and stuff, but these hands were made for sculpting, lads. And we're like, yes.
That's the one. That's it, Jez. That's it. Yeah.
He was all right, mate. It was like, but seriously, man, he must smoke about 50 fags a fucking second.
He's a very heavy smoker, and he's still alive.
Brutal,
He's
mate.
alive.
Like you could
Yeah.
smell it. Like and his voice was just for any Americans or non-British. Yes, I used a slur word there, fag, but fag means cigarette in British English. So yeah, he smokes about 50 fags. He smokes about 50 cigarettes. So yeah.
Aussie slang too.
Mate, I can't divulge what Jez actually said to us, unfortunately.
You told me.
I'm a man of my word.
I know,
and,
mate. Your secret's,
he said, listen, lads, whatever I've said here, just make sure it don't get out on the internet. And I'm like, yes. You know what, mate? I was thinking of secretly filming you on my Google Cam or whatever it is, but now, man, all I'm going to say is, I'm right. Jez agrees. That's all I'm going to say.
That's it. He knows
That's all I'm going to say.
He knows the truth.
He must be minted, surely.
Oh yeah, he's made a lot of money through, especially through the earlier days when sculptors got loyalties, and I don't think that applies now. But in the early days, in the 90s and probably the 80s, they signed up some kind of loyalty deal where they would get paid a certain percentage of sales. So Jez made a lot of money out of Eldar Marines, So that's good. Good for him. He's a very talented guy. So he should.
Yeah, his drawings and stuff, man. They're just
beautiful, just so good. Yeah.
I mean, mate, when you flick through some of the old, especially Rogue Trader and second edition as well, like when you flick through those rule books and stuff, and like the artwork and stuff, it's just no comparison to now.
Yeah,
like no comparison at all. Like it's just like dripping with some sort of word. It's dripping with a word that I can't. It's on the tip of my tongue, feeling. It's like dripping with like atmosphere. There we go. That's the word. It's like dripping with like
nothing against like 3D drawing or whatever, digital drawing. I can't do what those men and women do. I can't do. They're very talented what they do, right? But I think there should be there's a separation. There's a different skill set of one person drawing with just a graphite pencil and ink, making this incredible illustration.
I think there's something about the black and white as well that just makes it look cool.
Yeah,
because when you see like some of the actual artwork and it's in color, I'm like, oh mate, I thought it looked better in black and white. Where it was like some of the original artwork I don't know, just something about the black and white and like the being printed in that book, like it just adds more grittiness that it's black and white. You know what I mean?
Paul Bonner is one of the greatest, I think.
Yeah, man, fucking amazing orcs, mate. He's like the king of orc drawing, isn't he, Paul Bonner?
Absolutely brilliant.
Like when orcs were orcs.
Yeah, that's it, mate. That's it. Okay, let's go to some of the other questions. So, one of the other comments here, Dilwana. My whole playing group are trying to buy up the old stuff like Talon, Mordians, etc. And we all started in 6th and 7th edition 40k. Well, there you go. Nice one.
Yeah,
good luck.
Man. Mordians, mate.
Yeah.
And Talons. They're Talons are probably my favourite Imperial Guard regiment.
Actually, yeah, I like them too.
And they've got the absolute cringe fest Talons in Final Liberation, where again they've obviously just got some bloke from one of the local shops. They're like, oh mate, you can do like a half Arab accent kind of. Seriously, man, check out the Final Liberation Talon bloke, mate. His accent is out of control.
What's your question again while I'm painting through the week? I think that might be a good idea. because I need to play. I'll probably never get to play it, but I get to live through it vicariously through you guys playing it online.
Yeah,
Matt's playing Road Trade on the Steam Deck PC recently. Great game, must complete it at some point. So that's good, Matt. You're enjoying it as well. Looks like to be quite popular.
Yeah, mate, seriously, give it a go. And if my computer wasn't cold driven, I would do some easy streams of just playing that. But there's a lot of there's a lot of reading in Rogue Trader. Like, you know, because it feels like Fallout 1 or Fallout 2 when you're playing it. I don't know if you played those, but
I don't think so. No.
You play Fallout, mate?
No, I don't think. I'm not a big PC gamer. You know what I mean? Like I'm not a big PC guy. I'm a PlayStation guy, you know, through and through. Pro Evolution Soccer, mate. That's my addiction. Pro Evo. Love football. Love English football. Love playing English football on the PS.
A juxtaposition, isn't it?
Yeah.
Somebody who likes 40k and football. I refuse to believe it, sir. We say football. Are you talking about soccer? Or are you talking about real football?
Well, they call it soccer here. Soccer. Yeah.
Oh yeah, man. I've lived in Japan. I know what they're like. Yeah.
All right. So Dr. Owl says, I concur. Price of Oldhammer minis have been going up in these last years. It must be just a couple hundred very avid collectors responsible for this trend, though.
Goldfish Blue.
Not really a fan.
Goldfish Blue, mate. If anyone in Britain who likes Oldhammer knows who Goldfish Blue is, if you're watching Goldfish Blue, bloody fuck off. Like, seriously, right? Every single Oldhammer miniature you're going to look for on eBay. Go on eBay now, and his pictures are all the same. It's like a red background, the metal model, and then it's like a raffle ticket with a number on it. He's obviously qualified it, but it'll be like, you know, I don't know, whatever it may be. It'll be Imperial Commander or like, you know, the original Minus Calgar model.
Well,
sitting on the seat or whatever, and it'll be like 50 quid, 60 quid or something. You're like, oh man.
Don't use eBay. That's
my
advice, okay? Because I never use it, and maybe Garf can concur with me, but I reckon Facebook Oldhammer groups or trading groups are the best, because what you're doing is you're establishing a relationship with the people there, right? So, you know, like, they know you after a while. They know you're a good bloke. They know you're in the community. You're doing good things, and then the good deals start happening. You know what I mean? So I think that's because eBay is pretty much a cold, calculated, you know, transaction between money and customer. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have that good feel value that the Facebook groups do. That's my 2 cents on it anyway.
No, I'd agree. And you get realistic prices on the Facebook group, and like it will be
regulated.
Peer regulated. Like, you know, somebody will be like, oh, I found this in my husband's, like, you know, selling their husband's collection or something. How much can I get for these? And everyone's like, oh, I'll give you a $5 for that. You know, but and then people will be like, no, you're sitting on a gold mine there, love. Like,
so Matt says, I think it was Inquisitor. That's what we're talking about with the film before.
Oh yes, mate.
At some point,
with the most the most unconvincing Dark Angel ever is.
So someone reminded him of Rimmer, the Red Dwarf, as well as his face. So it must be one of the people starring in that wonderful high production quality.
Oh mate, it's pretty sweet. I mean,
that's pretty good. Yeah, for the time. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh man, it was like one of those like myths. Like, you know, like what's it called? Hive City or whatever it's called. Like that trailer. It's a trailer for a 40k film, isn't it? Like the Hive Infestation, I think it's called. Like, remember when we were kids, we were like, yeah, it's a 40k film. We're like, nah, mate. They're like, nah, my brother went to Games Day and he saw that they're bringing out a 40k film. We're like,
yeah, well, they've hit it big time. We're not going to go into the Amazon collaboration with Games Workshop here, but maybe Garf wants to add his few cents to it. But
that's the end again. That's the end of 40k, mate.
We talked about when you were really drunk last night.
I was gonna make a video on it, man, just because every time like, I like make a prediction, people are like I like on stream or whatever, I make a prediction, I go, "Hey, this is gonna happen," or whatever, and then like 2 years later, people go, "Fucking hell, Garf, you're right." Like, and it's never documented, but like this is my gatekeeper opinion. I got called a gatekeeper on my on my stream because I said this. I said,
Oh, right.
right, I said my thoughts is that we all love 40k and we know what the potential is there. However, it's going to be like Game of Thrones, so it will take off, right? And everyone will be into 40k, right? You'll go down the road and it'll be like you're going to toys, like, you know, and it'll be like, like they're already there anyway. Like, here's a 40k plushie, here's a 40k like, you know, key ring and stuff, like a Space Marine, right? And you're gonna go right. If you work in an office, or something like that, right? Imagine this, right? This is what could potentially happen, right? Is you're gonna go in there, right? And you're gonna hear Doris from HR and Karen from finance going, did you see the latest episode of Horus Heresy? Yeah. Oh, Sanguinius, he's so dreamy, isn't he? He's my favorite. Like, you know, and like, is that really what you want? Is that really what you want, man? Because that's what they want. Right, because that's money, bruv. That's money, mate. That's the real money, man. That's what they want for 40k, is for the mass market, and it's already watered down anyway, right? We're talking about it's going to be supremely watered down, and there we go. You're going to be sitting around having Christmas dinner, talking to your mum and dad about who your favourite Primarch is. Is that where you want this to go? Because that's what's going to happen.
Oh boy, can't wait. That's brilliant. Well, I'll hold you up to that, mate. I'm sure it's going to eventuate to that point where.
Well, I mean,
down and so mainstream, everyone's going to.
It'd be good for us, mate. I mean.
Oh yeah, we'd be less. The geekdom meter will just drop down a few notches.
Oh, that's it, mate. We'll immediately elevate ourselves to Sigma level male, mate. Like,
hey, I'm in a 40.
We'll have to start every video like this. Hey guys.
Yeah.
YouTube top 10 #1 Primarchs. Just have to start doing YouTube videos like that, mate. Number one.
Fred Reed. We got sidetracked. Fred Reed. Okay. Howling Griffin's Army. Johnny Watson painting. He did an interview with Fred Reed. He found him, and what he does now. This is going back in our conversation before when you talked about the suits that they were making for the Space Marines and the costumes and that kind of thing. Well, Fred Reed, he makes that with his missus in America. They make all the really cool looking, you know, like Inquisitor, Scissors of Battle suits and that kind of stuff.
Man, do you remember like about 5-6 years ago or even longer, like, you know, before like cosplay was more of a thing in the West and stuff, man? Like, yeah. I remember seeing this, like, it blew my mind, man. Like, I saw some geezer made like Imperial Fist Terminator armor, and this is about 10 years ago or something like that. And I looked at it and I was like, oh my fucking god, mate! Like, that is like, that's legit, man. It like looks amazing. But like now, like you just see loads of Space Marines walking around, don't you? You can't go down Pound Shop without bumping into Space Marine these days, mate. You know?
Well, what the Chinese cosplayers really into it, like they're really successful at doing that kind of stuff. That's what I remember anyway. Like looking at like Facebook pictures, a lot of the Chinese cosplayers would really excel at doing stuff like, especially Sisters of Battle.
I've never seen, like, living in China, mate. I've never seen a cosplay in China ever.
I'm sure it was big. I'm sure Warhammer was big in China. I'm sure of it.
No, it don't make sense, mate.
Isn't it?
Nah. No, maybe Hong Kong, but not China itself, mate, because they're a bit behind. And I can't imagine, in all honesty, mate, I can't imagine the Communist Party being like, oh yeah, this is cool shit.
So if Karen and Finance really got into genetically altered superhumans waging an eternal racial holy war across the universe, she should feel free to look me up. Very good, Dr. Hall.
Yeah, man. That. She can book my holiday in as well.
Yeah.
I spoke to her about that 2 weeks ago, man. She's too busy watching Horus Heresy on Amazon, mate.
Yeah.
do your bloody job, Karen.
Nice.
It's coming, mate. It's coming, mate. I'm telling you.
All right, let's look at this, Mr. Blobby the Tank, mate. What are you working on here, buddy?
I'm not working on it,
your
man.
project? There's a comment.
It's there. It's there. I'm not going to work on it.
No, I've done once. We've been doing the stream for like an hour and 10 minutes. I haven't done one. I haven't picked up a single pen or paintbrush yet. So
no, let's not.
You're certainly not in the mood for it.
No, man. No. I said
doing they're doing professionally, as far as I know. He has his own website, and I'll have to find out the website again and leave a link. But just go straight over to Johnny Watson's gaming channel. Really good guy. Love Johnny. And he did an interview with him. You can watch it, and he will show you. Yeah, Fred will show you all the costumes him and his wife made, and it's really good. Like, you know, I was really blown away at the level of detail and professionalism they put into those suits. So they do all the cosplay circuits around the US doing that stuff, and obviously make it for people. That's his main sort of business now.
Yeah, 40K in the States seems to have really taken off, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah, especially for the US, 40K seems to be the money grabber there. I wonder how the old world's going to go in the US. We'll see how we go. But
are you bothered about that?
Not really. Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, like, as you can see around me, Garf, all these brightly coloured 90 edition, 90 games and stuff like that. I'll never stop playing the old Hammer games, never. But I will give the old world game a go. I already told the guys in our group I'll give it a go, so I can give my best form judgment on what I like and what I don't like about it.
Is this a dirty word? Have you played Age of Sigmar?
No, but one of my clients, Tom, he plays it, and if we are in the situation where he's got it on the table, I'll say, look, give me a go, because I'll play it. I just want to have a go at it to know what I don't like about it or what I like about it. You know what I mean? Because Jervis Johnson wrote the rules for that game. He designed it. So if he designed it, I mean, some of my favorite games are by Jervis Johnson.
So, yeah, it's just it's more character. It's more character based as opposed to regiment based, really.
But personally, I'll never buy an army. I'll never invest in a new Age of Sigmar army, Warcry, whatever.
What do you reckon about the Sigmarines?
I'm about to paint. I painted some last year. I'm about to paint a whole heap of them for Tom.
What are they called? Stormcast Eternals.
Stormcast Eternals.
Is that what they're called?
To be honest, I actually prefer painting those because there are less details, there are less fiddly bits on it. They're all assembled and primed and everything like that. Hey, here's Ted. How you going, buddy? So yeah, I prefer to paint those because they're quite simple in that their body armor and that kind of thing is quite nice to paint. There's not.
Do you not reckon that they look obese?
Who? Oh, the
Stormcast Eternals. They look like to me they look like Henry VIII's armor. Like, he was a big bloke, Henry VIII, and he used to be until he had his jousting accident, and then he went mental and started eating a bit. Right? If you look at like Henry VIII's armor, right, they've crafted it so it kind of covers his belly. I mean, like, I feel like when I look at the Stormcast Eternals, I'm like, mate, the Geeza in that armor must be a bit of a porker. You know what I mean? Do you not feel that? Maybe it's just me.
No, not really.
It's just me then.
I don't really take much notice of it, mate. Honestly, I don't really take much notice of it. Everything's upscaled now. Everything's upscaled, so everything just seems like the new stuff just seems like it's a predetermined size. You can't do much about it. Dr. Ol says, so we can all agree that Jez Gooden is an amazing sculptor, but what about Gary Morley? I really like Gary Morley's sculpts. I wasn't really fond of them back in the day, but I've had much more appreciation now. Especially the undead he sculpted. I think some of those Wights he did amazing. Heinrich Kemmler, he sculpted is just a beautiful model. And I have my favorites. I have some of the Blood Bowl teams that I really like as well. He did all the Warhammer Quest models, most of them.
Mate, they're classic, mate. The Warhammer Quest models.
Yeah, they're really good too. So he had
I really like
some good success.
just the bog standard orc with that like cutlass. Do you know what I mean? It's just sort of standing there.
Yeah.
There's something about I'm like, yeah, man, that's a proper orc.
I think Gary's unique because he can sculpt anything. You know what I mean? Because like Jez did only Marines, he did Eldar, right? And they were the two groups of rangers he would do. But Gary had to do pretty much everything. You know what I mean? Like he was just like an all rounder in terms of he didn't do dwarves, I don't think, at any stage, but he did wood elves, he did high elves, he did Blood Bowl, all the Blood Bowl teams, all the races.
Talk about dwarfs, mate. What do you reckon of the modern squats?
I can't stand them. They're
mate,
not squats.
They don't even look like squats, right?
They look like squats. They don't look like squats.
No,
yeah, sorry. I don't want to sound like I'm discouraging stuff that other people like. It's it's just my personal opinion, but yeah, I'm not a fan of the new.
Have you ever seen a StarCraft Terran Marine?
No, this is a computer game.
Yeah. Just have a look at the Space Marines from StarCraft, and then have a look at the modern squats, and you'll be like, oh, there's where they got the inspiration for that.
Oh well, StarCraft is part of Blizzard. Now you know the story about Blizzard and Games Workshop.
Yeah, apparently so. Yeah, like Warcraft was meant to be a Games Workshop game, which would make sense, wouldn't it? Because the original Warcraft orcs, they are Games Workshop orcs, aren't they? Like, big underbite and those massive tusks, green skin like that. You're like, and like they sound the same and they do all the same stuff. And yeah, I heard this. Is it a rumor or is it actually confirmed?
No, because Gary Morley, in my interview with Gary Morley on the podcast, he talks about that, and he talks about them coming to Games Workshop, approaching them about taking the license for Games Workshop for Warhammer and making that into a computer game. And for whatever reason, it fell through, and they just thought, oh, well, we'll just make our own generic game, and we'll just call it Warcraft, and off they went.
Well, it's a few quid that GW lost out on there, isn't it?
Yeah, and and later, people like Andy Chambers went to work for them, and went as game designers, and a lot of guys went to the gaming industry from Games Workshop to work in various roles with game design. Yeah, for a long time. That's where they made their money, mate. They didn't make it out of Games Workshop. They made it in the video game industry.
Interesting. Did Adrian Wood make that jump?
Adrian Wood? No, he didn't make that jump. He would have fell in the river.
Adrian Wood, mate.
Adrian Wood. He's actually a really good drummer.
Is he?
Yeah, his wife's a singer. He's a drummer, and he does drumming lessons. And he's always uploading videos on Facebook, doing his little, drum thing, whatever, and then, asking for people to come, sign up for his online drum lessons and stuff like that. So, Adrian's a good one. I come on the podcast. He very graciously just declined. He didn't want to talk about his past. Obviously, it wasn't a happy ending. Yeah, it wasn't a happy ending, I don't think. From my
sore point, is it?
Sore point, I think, yeah. So Ted says rules might be amazing, but I can't stand look at the fluff of it. I don't. Yeah. So even Tom, the guy that I do the commission for, he doesn't care about the fluff. He just wants to play the game. But I got him into Warhammer Renaissance, so I'm really happy about that. So he's going to play some Oldhammer with me. So that's great.
Is this Age of Sigma he's talking about?
He's talking. Ted's talking about Age of Sigma. Yeah. So and he's right. Maybe the rules are good. Maybe the game is good, but then the aesthetics of the game. You got it. For me, and maybe you're the same, Garf, I need to be sold on the whole thing. The models, the rules, the lore, everything in one big package. So, Age of Sigmar just leaves me very cold. Years ago, they made a World of Warcraft movie. It was inaccurate lore-wise, but I really enjoyed it anyway. As its own work, will probably be the same for 40k movie series. There you go.
We'll see.
We'll
Jury's
see.
out on that one.
Garf will have his judgment at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Well,
mate, I hope I'm wrong. You know,
very
I
nice.
really want to be wrong because I love 40k. I just, it's, the sort of naysaying and that sort of stuff. It's not coming from a bad place. It's actually coming from a good place. If that makes sense.
Yeah, like we're all got our point of views, and as long as you're constructive in your criticism about something, it's valid. You know what I mean? If you just say, "Oh, I hate that," that's just stupid. That's like teenagers talking. So
I've done
have
that.
some reason. Some of the beardless, I know. Some of the beardless are right. They can grow a beard.
Yeah, this is heresy, mate. Beardless squats. How dare they, man?
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't realise they ain't got beards. I suppose they don't actually. Thinking about it,
they don't have any beards. There's no beards on them. Yeah. So, and someone actually posted up on the second edition, maybe the second edition 40k or Oldhammer on Facebook. They actually painted beautifully all the old squads, and they had nice photos of them, and they look wonderful. And
it's quite interesting how they just binned off squads in second edition, man. They just disappeared out of nowhere, didn't they?
Well,
they've all been killed by Tyranids. Bye bye. No codex, no nothing.
Codex, you can play them. You got the psychic cards for them, so they're legit. They're legit. You can play them. And Paul, my mate Paul, he's got an entire army of them.
Yeah, but they only had maybe there was some white dwarf supplements or something, but I mean, it was you had that little thin black and white codex in the second edition, and wasn't that where the main rules for the squads were, and that's it?
Because all you had were like 3 units. You had like your thunderers, your berserkers,
exo armors.
Exo armors came in like under characters, so like your Hearthguard and your Lord can be in Exo armor. The big
You're right. They did have vehicle cards, didn't they, for like the trikes and stuff? Right? Am I making that up?
You can play them second edition, no problem. But then you might as well just play them in Rogue Trader, but then adapt the rules they came with later in the companion, and then just play it almost like second edition, but with all the rules.
Vehicle cards, man.
The location template, that's brilliant. That thing.
I know. Like, what a mechanic for a game, awesome, right? Look, it's none of that now, man. I watched. I met up with some orc YouTubers, man, and they were playing like massive, like 10,000 point game or something like that, and it was like I was watching them play it, and it was just like I was like, "Where's the blast markers? Where's the flamer templates? Like none of it. Just watching that, and it was like just." Oh, it's a load of orc boys just roll about 20 dice, and it's like, oh, this gun blew up, and I'm like, and then just take it off the table. You're like, maybe isn't it like a tractor gun or something? Like, can't it like fire at something randomly or something? Doesn't it like blow up and like can't you roll and see what happens to it? Like the tractor cannon starts, on its own trajectory, the tractor cannon flies across the battlefield and explodes or something. You're like, where's all of that gone?
Yeah.
It's like when you used to fire a shock attack wave gun at you had a special damage table for shock attack wave gun, and like dreadnoughts and terminators had the same damage table.
Oh, really? Did they? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Wow. Like one of them was like the Snotling starts kicking around on the controls and sends the dreadnought crazy and starts like shooting around shit. But like that could also happen to a Terminator. So you might just have one random Terminator. Hopefully he doesn't have an assault cannon. Just, shooting random shit. Use the old scatter dice.
Ah, right. They came in then. Wow. Okay, so we've got Nicholas joining the chat as well. Thank you very much, Nicholas. That's great to see you here. So Colossus says, yeah, in my opinion, they did a better job bringing back the Gene Stealer cult. I'll actually second that. I think they look pretty cool, actually.
Oh, mate, yeah, the Gene Stealer cult, man. That's one of the modern GW wins, man.
Yeah,
Like
actually,
a rare one. Like you look at the Gene Stealer cult, you're like,
yeah.
again, they're like one of those armies that kind of disappeared in second edition for whatever reason. Like even though they were always about like the limos and stuff, man. They're always creeping around in the in the background somewhere. Like, and now the patriarch has seen it right to jump back out again, right? But yeah, thematic, I suppose. But Chaos Dwarfs, man.
One of the fantasy battle are the Chaos Dwarves. First, they got a new minis range in 4th, and then poof, they disappeared without even a Nids. Even a Nids did it. Okay.
Yeah, Chaos Dwarfs were super cool, man, as well.
They got a Jonesy roll on the table, eh?
If I was to collect a fantasy army, it would be Chaos Dwarfs or Undead.
Yes. Yeah, Chaos Dwarves are really interesting to me too, actually. Now I've actually got to face them twice in one Renaissance in our game stage. I feel really interested in them actually now.
Well, Dark Elves. I used to quite like Dark Elves.
Oh, I hate Dark Elves. They're dicks. Total dicks.
That's it. I'm ending the stream.
Yeah. I've faced it many times with Paul. Yeah, this
I refuse to take this.
Repeating crossbow wank. That's what I call it.
Yeah, crossbow wank.
In the 90s, I got to play against a guy who had a full squad army, Hearthguard trikes, hoverboards, hoverboards, wow. Thud gun, the works, probably about 2,000 points, treasured hobby memory. That's awesome.
Oh, Thud gun, mate. Fucking
hoverboard. I never heard
fucking
that.
Thud guns, man. The classic second edition template with that little bit sticking over there. You had to roll, didn't you? Like you were like, oh, it lands there, and then you're like,
right. Yeah. Now, as
Thud
many
guns, super lame in final liberation. Bin those off immediately. Barely does anything,
man. Well, they don't do much. They don't do a hell of a lot in Epic Space Marine either. Because I'm coming from, when I talk about 40k, I'm an Epic Space Marine player. I wasn't really.
Isn't the idea of a Thud gun? It's meant to be like a suppressing weapon as opposed to like a devastating attack.
Like, barrage weapon that does very little. Like it's very little chance of hitting. What have you? So yeah, they're not that fantastic.
Mole mortar, mate.
Mole mortar. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about more. What am I thinking about? Maybe I'm thinking about the mole mortar, not the Thud gun. I can't remember now. There's too many weapons. Okay, we recently downloaded the old codexes and rulebooks, including Dark Heresy, simply to read the lore and enjoy the artwork. When I heard you guys talking about second edition, my ears tuned in. Well, thank you very much, Nikos. Really appreciate you being here, buddy. So, yeah, well, it's
Dark Heresy. What's that?
Second edition Rogue Trader. What's that?
Dark Heresy.
That's the role-playing game that who did it again? Fantasy Flight produced it. Remember?
Is that not Rogue Trader?
Wasn't it called Dark Heresy?
I know Dark Heresy. Oh, mate, there was a few expansions for that, and Deathwatch being one of them.
Yeah, Deathwatch was one of them. Yeah, Deathwatch.
Yeah.
We're going. Hey, Johnny Watson, how you going, buddy? We're talking about you before, buddy. So I'm directing people to your Fred Reed interview. Okay, Johnny.
Free advertisement, bro.
That's it. But yeah. I played 40k roleplay with my good friend Brad. If he's going to watch this, hey Brad. Now this is going back at least, because I've been here in Japan for 10 years, so I'm thinking it's at least 12, 13 years ago when that was around. Did you play it as well?
10 years in Japan, mate. Jesus.
Did you play?
I did 7. I did 7 and I had enough.
You look very serious, guy. Don't worry, just lighten up, mate.
It's just PTSD, mate. Like, I've seen too many Kaisha and fucking spanking off on the train in front of me.
This is the reason why I'm staying here. Yeah, this is the sole reason. I can't get this stuff in Australia.
Nobody tells you about the fucking businessmen spanking off on trains, do they, when you go to Japan? Yeah. You must have experienced that, surely. If you haven't seen it, mate, you're just not looking hard enough. I'm telling you.
Well, I'm in the countryside, mate. I'm in the countryside, so I don't.
Well, I was in the countryside one time, man. It was fucking I was living in Sonobe, which is just
Yeah,
outside of Kyoto, right? It's a
Yeah.
quiet old train, right? A quiet train, and I'm fucking dozing off like you do on the Japanese train. I fucking open my eyes, right? I look over and I see this like familiar shuffling. I'm like, nah. I'm like, oh, fuck off, mate. Please, no, he's not doing what he's doing, is he? What I think he's doing, is he? Right? He's just fucking spanking off, right? And he had 2 phones out like this. Well, he had 2 phones anyway. He couldn't be holding both because he didn't have 3 arms. But like he was just staring this bird right in the face. And I was like, fuck me, man. It's Japan, right? Nobody does nothing, right? People let people get away with shit. And I'm like, I didn't know any Japanese at this point. And I'm like, mate, like, I cannot let this slide. You know what I mean? I'm like, what am I going to do? Like, and I'm like, I just fucking stood up. Yeah, you dirty fuck. Fucking screamed at him, like, basically, right? And he went, mid spank, just like looked at me like this, right? And I'm just screaming at him, obviously in English, like every swear word under the sun, mate. And then and then he like looks at me and he goes, "Oh, I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry." You know, that fucking Japanese accent. And he's like, "Oh, you want to be fucking sorry? Get the fuck out of here, you take." You know. And he ran off, right? He ran to the next carriage. Right, he ran. This is why I know he had 2 phones, right? Because he ran to the next carriage. And like everyone just like looked at me as if I was the problem. Anyway, I fucking sat down, and he had 2, and there was 2 phones. He ran off so fast that he left both his phones on the seat. And I'm like, oh well, he's gone now, right? Whatever. And I was thinking to myself, oh, maybe I'll have those phones, but I was like, no, I don't want to touch them. Actually, that's literally what my fault is. So I'll have that phone, and I won't because he's just been spanking off. And then, like, anyway, the geezer like ran off. We got to the next carriage, right?
Yeah.
About 10-20 minutes later, right? I'm still on the train because I'm going back to bloody Sonobe, which is the end of the line, and he didn't actually get off the train. He'd just gone to the next carriage, right? And then he came through the train doors like that. And I went, just like looked at him and he was like, oh, I'm very sorry, right? And then walked, like head down, picked up his 2 phones, and then walked off again. I'm like, you dirty fuck, man. Like, you know, what a scumbag, mate. And he was only about 20 or something as well. He had his it must have been like an artiste. He had his yeah, he had like like an artist bag, like with like a big massive like A1 size like thing, like yeah, he was yeah, that's
it. That's funny.
Cheekan massive, mate. That was.
Thank God I didn't witness that. I've never seen anything like that bad, mate.
Oh, mate, how have you not seen that in Japan? Maybe it's just me.
I haven't lived. I live in the country, mate. I live with all the bloody.
Maybe it's people just want to spank off around me. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's it.
Well, I do believe the big cities, when you're living with like 13 million people, you do get a few oddballs around there. So the whole camera up the skirt thing is really bemusing to me. Like how anybody could find it really interesting, or
Oh, like I said, just like cheek-hands, mate, touching people up on the train and stuff. Like, well, mate, like it's a very odd place, man. Like the sexual perversion in Japan is fucking scale, mate. Like you can just be sitting there at a train. Again, it's always trains, sitting there, train station, and then like a 13-year-old girl walk past in her school uniform, and they'll be like, "Oh, kawaii." You're like, mate, she's about 13. You fucking sicko.
Yeah, no, mate.
Like, do you know what I mean? That's fucking wrong. Anyway,
it's wrong. It is, mate. It is.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got a question for you, mate. Dr. Ol says, incidentally, is it Tyranids or Tyranids?
I say tyrannid.
I think Tyranids too. Yeah, Tyranids.
Yeah, tyrannid. No, but they do say it in like some of the like a tyrannid infestation has the space Hulk Lefros and a tyrannid invasion. Like I would say tyrannid. Tyrant. Hey guys, he's started his own YouTube channel.
That sounds pretty good, doesn't it? Dark Heresy was released in 2008. Yes, it's like D&D. Right, okay. I played it.
Dark Heresy. Yeah. Sorry, you're right.
There's another HP called Rogue Trader 2. Right, okay. I don't even know.
Well, wasn't Rogue Trader? I think they're all part of the same thing, though. Isn't Dark Heresy, Death Watch, and Rogue Trader? They're like Rogue Trader and Death Watch expansions for Dark Heresy, I think.
Right, okay. They sound like they're offshoots. Yeah. But yeah, don't quiz me on that because I have no idea. T-Ray Knights even. Okay. Well, it should be whatever orcs can call them. Bugs. What's Johnny saying? Currently, kids, soft plays. You guys keep me sane. Okay, good on you, buddy. Good to hear. Leggy Gits. Absolutely.
Who's Leggy Gits? What does that mean?
You're referring to the Tyranids, I think. The recent release of the Dune films has also re-inspired me to get back into read more 40k lore. Frank Herbert's books were hugely influential on the 40k authors. Yeah, absolutely. And then, like, that was a massive inspiration. And then...
a massive inspiration is an understatement, mate. Isn't...
Well, isn't Judge Dredd the biggest inspiration behind 40k? Am I getting that wrong?
It's an amalgamation, isn't it? Of
like
Judge Dredd and Dune and stuff like that. But don't tell GW that, because otherwise they'll throw the book at you, mate.
They'll be looking for litigation. Maybe.
How dare you touch my intellectual property, which is actually Dune's. like Imperium and Navigators and all of that, like, it all comes from Dune, doesn't it?
Got a question for you.
What?
Okay. What's his name again? Fuck. The original Dune movie. The original Dune. What's the director's name? Is my favorite director. It's just drawn blank. David Lynch. Okay. Do you like it or hate it?
It's all right.
Like, open to you and the guys in the comments or whatever.
I haven't seen it in a long time, man. I can't really. I'd have to rewatch it to really form an opinion on it. Like I said, all I can remember is the Fremen, and they've got the Sardaukar or whatever, or is that them? And they've got that like sound wave gun, and he just goes, "Oh, God!" That's basically.
That's it. Yeah, that's right.
That's basically what I can remember from that. I haven't seen the new Dune movie. I hear it's all right though.
Yeah, the new Dune movie is good, but it's obviously it follows a story. Maybe it's closer to the books than what the original one was. But I know that David Lynch almost went crazy over that first film.
Yeah.
Like, it was such a huge thing that I think maybe it was just too much for him in the end. I'm not sure.
You ever played the game Dune 2?
Video game?
About Warcraft and stuff like that. Yeah, Dune 2, mate. What a classic game, mate.
No chance, buddy. No chance.
What? You never played Dune 2?
Pro Evolution Soccer, mate. That's it, mate. That's my gig, mate.
Dune 2 was like the precursor to Command and Conquer, mate. It's made by Westwood Studios.
Played it.
It's a classic. It was on the Amiga and stuff, man. It's an amazing game, mate. Enemy Unit.
In 1994, on the high street of London, Oxford Street, when I was working there at Games Workshop, Command and Conquer was released then. So there you go.
Yeah, mate, but Dune 2, man. It's all about Dune 2, man. Command and Conquer. I know Colossus is a big Red Alert Command and Conquer fan, man. Literally, whenever I play any music on my stream, Colossus is like, play the Red Alert tune, play the Red Alert tune.
Was it Red Alert then? I think Red Alert. I don't know.
Red Alert was after Command and Conquer.
Must mean Command and Conquer. But then again, I'm not a PC gamer guy. I don't know much about this stuff. I just know the names, and that's it. Mind you, are you a PS4 guy? You a PlayStation guy?
Nah, mate, PC through and through, mate. I ain't had a console since my Mega Drive, mate.
I hate PC games. I hate them with a passion. So
all right, that's it, man. That's the second time, man. I'm ending the stream immediately.
That's the second time. Black's trying against me now.
Yeah, I'm ending the stream. I'll be back in a minute.
Don't know. Let's call them whatever the orc word is for crisps.
He spelled orc wrong.
Did he?
Yeah, it should be. It's a Games Workshop, mate. It should be a K, surely. Don't or hang on, go back. Let me
What, go
read
back?
that. Yeah.
This one. Dr.
Don't
Orc?
orcs. He spelled orcs right, and he spelled orc wrong. Don't orcs call them
Okay.
whatever the orc word is for crisps? What's the orc word for crisps? What would be the orc word for crisps?
Cracker? I don't know.
Yeah.
Dr. O will tell us. He'll inform us. He'll educate us.
Give us a bag of them salt vinegar crumbs or something like that.
Squigs. No, can't. You have like squig and crisps together. Mash it together.
You get a crisp squig. Walker's crisp squig.
Crispy squig. That's hilarious. They're very jealous about the IP. It's ironic.
Mate, it certainly is ironic. It's hypocritical and ironic, and
absolutely
everything that goes with that.
The new film is very good. I wish I had drawn it out into a full. Yeah, that's me too. I really prefer TV series over films personally, because.
But these days, if you want to watch like anything that's got, it's going to be construed in a bit of a wrong way. I can't think of any other way to it. An adult theme, right? Not The Hub, but like anything that's got any blood, swearing, or anything like that, it has to be a TV series now. Because there's no way they're releasing RoboCop at the cinema, is it? Do you know what I mean? Anything like that, like Game of Thrones, or like anything that you want, like that kind of buzz from. You're never going to get it at cinema anymore, unless you want to watch the 58th Marvel film. Like, like there's nothing at the cinema. I can't remember the last time I went to the cinema because there's fuck all on, mate. It's just like kids films continuously.
The Marvel films, I watched one. I can't remember what it was, but I think it was in the cinema. I can't remember, but the other one I watched on Disney Plus one time, I watched the first 5 minutes and turned it off. I just couldn't watch it.
It's just lame, mate. It's just like CG vomit with like.
It was just really bad. It wasn't even. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting too mature for that.
Maybe we're just too old, mate. I think
my brother would like.
Obviously, people do like them, don't they? But
because as I played Red Alert and StarCraft, I was just a little too young to play Dune 2. There you go.
Never too young to play Dune 2, mate. If you like Red Alert and StarCraft and all of that, man, get on Dune 2. The only annoying thing about Dune 2 is that it's like the first iteration of that sort of game, or one of the first. So you can't grab units. So you got like this massive army, and you got to click every single bloke. You're like, attack that, instead of like grabbing the whole lot. And the voices in Dune 2 are just amazing, mate. Especially the Harkonnen. And it's back in those days, and like when you start off, right, it'd be like enemy unit approaching from the south, enemy unit approaching from the north. Like, like it's just got those little, and also the mentats or whatever they're called, like the guys who tell you, like, your mission briefing screen, right? If you like move your mouse around, like it's like classic like Amiga programming, like it'll move his eyes around and follow the mouse wheel, and when you click the mouse button, it'll be like, and it'll move his mouth like that. But talking about mouth movements like that, man, the most hilarious thing is, have you seen the fucking Space Hulk on the Amiga?
No.
Oh, mate, just type in like Space Hulk cutscenes, right? There's like, again, it's like they've just got like one of the programmers to do the voice or whatever, right? And it's like Dark Angel Terminator, or whatever, and he's got this like really rubbery mouth. He's like, and it's not like with it. It's not with the speech or anything at all. And he's like, brother librarians, I wish that you.
Did you say rubber librarians or brother librarians?
Rubber librarians, yeah, rubber librarians.
Rubber lips. Oh, beautiful. I love it.
This is your duty, and you will do it. Rubbers.
But isn't it good that like things so bad are so cool and so fun? You know what I mean? Like, we can't be that. Maybe we're just too critical about new stuff now, and we're sort of picking and things like that about. I don't know. Maybe that's just my interpretation.
I just want rubber-mouthed librarians, mate.
Maybe we just need some bad
Let's go back to the age of rubber-mouthed librarians, mate.
Yeah. So Doctor says squigs, as the name suggests, aren't very crispy though. A proper Orky word for crunchy snacks would be Keebles? Keebles?
It sounds like more like, I don't know. It sounds like something from Holland.
hey, carefully. Half Dutch, mate.
No, but squigs, like squigs are everything. Squigs are everything, aren't they? You get like hair squigs, oil squigs, crisp squigs. Yeah.
What's the other one? Face eater squigs?
Well, you just get any squigs in it. Like squigs are used for everything, aren't they?
And they put them in dung. They breed in dung, in the dung pits, don't they? Where they shit, basically. That's where they grow. Yeah, they do. In the orc. Here we go. Orcs thing. Orcs book, the Road Trader book. Yeah, they breed them or they grow them in the dung pits where the orcs take a crap in. That's where they come from, and they eat them. Yeah, it's brilliant. I love it. Okay, so question for Joshua: when's your next epic Space Marine battle report coming? Well, mate, look. Hopefully, by the end of the month, we're going to play the last Armageddon battle report with Paul. He's going to take his Imperial, what's it called, the massive Titan thing. I've got the Mega Gargant, and he's
Imperator.
Is it the Imperator, the massive Titan for
the
Epic?
Walking Church?
Yeah, the Walking Church. That's the one.
Yeah, it's Imperator Titan.
Yeah. Imperator Titan. That's it. Imperator Titan. So yeah, hopefully at the end of the month. If not end of this month, it'll be early next month. I've still got to paint it. You can probably see
they go for a fucking pretty penny these days.
Well, yeah, Paul was very lucky. I think his brother had one, or he got one from somebody when he went back to the States in a box in shrink. So someone found it somewhere and they gave it to him. So
landfill somewhere.
Yeah.
So you get like garage finds of rare cars. You're like, oh mate, I found this in shrink, in wrap, in box version
Dr.
of Titan Legions.
Wait, is Garf having a beer at 2 p.m? He certainly is. He never stops, mate. He's an amateur alcoholic like me.
It's actually 1:10, but
1:10. Okay. Oh my God! You have to click every single unit.
Yeah, man.
The June 2, is it?
Same at Warcraft 1, you had to do that as well.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's very early days of RTS, so you couldn't mass grab units.
Ah, right. Okay, because I know
4 units. Yeah, I mean June 2 was lesser in that way. I can't remember grabbing 4 units in Warcraft 1, but I mean obviously it's a long time ago. But yeah, June 2 definitely. However, you can actually play June 2 browser based now, and they've updated it so that there's no unit cap, or the unit cap's much more, and you can actually drag the units. So it's definitely worth giving a go.
Nikos, mate, are you from Australia, New Zealand, South Africa? Trying to pick your accent. I'm from Sydney. Yes, I'm from Australia, mate. Sorry if my accent is not as Aussie or as thick as an Aussie accent as it should be. I've been living here for 10 years. Maybe I've been trying to get rid of it because basically when I worked in teaching, a lot of the teachers were American. So, and I learned.
Oh, mate, you're giving me fucking flashbacks, man.
We'll leave it there. Okay, we'll leave it there. Okay.
No, I mean you can continue on. I mean it's interesting, but I mean, Josh is living in Japan. I lived in Japan for 7 years, and I was a teacher as well. And mate, this preference for the American accent just drive me insane. Just drive me insane. They're I'd have sometimes people would be like, "Can you just speak in an American accent?" I'm like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "Can you speak in a Chinese?" I literally said this to her. I was like, I said she went, "Oh, when you speak English, can you speak in an American accent?" I went, "No." "Can you speak in a Chinese accent?" She went, "No, I'm Japanese. Why would I speak in a Chinese accent?" I went, "Well, you just asked me exactly the same thing, right? You're telling me that my own native English is not good enough. So no, I can't speak it." "Oh, yeah, I can if you want. Does that sound better?" "Yeah, good job, Gareth." just drives me insane, mate. That sort of shit. I can't do English teaching no more, man. So Garf, yeah.
I don't think I don't really want to do it. I mean, it's the only alternative for someone who doesn't speak Japanese, unfortunately, in Japan.
Oh yeah, man. It's like, and the visa, like you're only allowed to work certain jobs and stuff, aren't you? Like really. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'm married to a Japanese national,
Oh
so
yeah, that's different in it. Yeah, I suppose.
yeah.
Yeah, you're not going to give up your nationality, then, are you? You're
No,
gonna,
no, I'm not going to. Well, I can
yeah,
give it.
because you can't be a dual citizen in Japan, can you? You have to give
You
up
can't.
nationality.
I let my Dutch nationality, like the passport is expired years ago now. I don't think I'll ever get that back. I don't know how hard it will be to get it back, but
Yeah, I mean, like my
I'd like to keep that.
obviously, I've just had the chavvy. Chavvy is Portsmouth English for little child. You know, I've just had my kid.
Yeah.
And there was no way she's having a Chinese passport, mate. Like she's having a
British,
she's got a
yeah.
British
Yeah.
one, yeah. So we got a British passport, and like uh, her passport photo is her with her eyes closed. And she's like,
Good.
it's like 4 weeks old, right? She already looks different. Do you know what I mean? It's only 2 weeks like
Oh,
since that.
I know.
Already looks different, you know. So why would you give like a 6-year-old, like not even a 6-year-old, like a 6-week-old a passport, right? But
It's
yeah,
amazing.
she's got a British passport, thank God, not a Chinese one.
Yeah, Leo, my boy had the same thing, mate. Had like a little baby face on a passport photo. It's so strange, but yeah. But I'm glad. I'm glad that everything worked out for you, buddy. Because I know you went through a pretty hard time. Because I know I
Mhm.
followed your videos during COVID and everything, and your whole dilemma with you and your missus. Well, then you was just you weren't even married then, but you were living separately and you couldn't get back to China. But I'm glad everything worked out for
It's a
you,
mess,
buddy.
mate. Mess,
You're
mate.
back there, and you got married,
I'll
and
do it. I'll do it all again. I've got a YouTube channel with 1,000 subs now, mate. It was well worth.
unfortunately, we're running out of time because I think this stream will cut out after 2 hours. I think
Oh,
that's
really?
how this thing goes.
Mhm.
So we'll just finish up with a couple more questions here. Have you ever felt
Well, this-
you needed to cut down on drinking? Have people annoyed you by criticizing your drinking? Have you felt guilty about drinking? Have you had a drink first thing in the morning? I've never had a drink first thing in the morning. Personally, I like having a cup of coffee or tea and try not to drink until at least 6 p.m. in the afternoon.
it's a question aimed at me.
Garf, he got a pass. It's the weekend. He can drink whenever. Like I do the same.
It's I don't know what's our man's name, Dr. Royal, Dr. Ol. Are you from the
Oh,
States by any chance? Because like in America they got this thing about day drinking, don't they? But I mean, obviously you lived in Britain, mate. Australia is the same, right? I mean, we don't have
we
that.
with
Like going down the pub or whatever and having a bevy in the day is not like everyone does it, right? But like my understanding is that in America they have like a thing about day drinking. Like, you heard
right.
about that?
You know about that, okay? But yeah, it makes sense. Maybe I don't know. Yeah, for me, like in Australia, we would drink anytime,
Yeah,
anywhere.
exactly, right. I mean, like Australia or like in Europe, mate. Like like, but
Yeah,
it seems to be a big thing in the States. I don't know if he is from the States,
right.
but or if you are from the States, my friend. But
Yeah.
if people said something, not in Britain, mate, in China and in Japan, yeah, they'd be like, it's generally Americans. They go like, yeah, I want a drink, and I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's kind of frowned upon, especially public drinking here, definitely. And people don't usually drink beers during lunchtime hours and that kind of thing. So
yeah. It's
for
like our matey boy there, Kraken's just said, yeah, that's true about in the UK. Sorry, in the US. Yeah, that's what I hear. It's like, but no, mate, we don't have those hang-ups basically outside of America.
yeah, maybe we should.
Nah.
Okay, the other question is if you care about someone else's opinion about day drinking. Yeah, look, we're not going to get into talk about drinking because we're almost out of time. But just drink responsibly. That's all I'm going to say about that. And yeah. So if you enjoy, I enjoy drinking. I don't enjoy getting drunk. Garth, that's one thing I'll say. I do not enjoy the feeling of the head spinning, all that kind of terrible. I hate it.
Oh, I
So
love it, mate.
because I love the the taste and the social aspect of drinking. I enjoy that very much. Okay, but hang on. We're almost going to come out. We're going to go to our
Oh, you got some Discord pictures of you.
yeah, glorious bastards in the community. So here are my shout outs here. I know Garth was going to be on, so I'm going to show some 40k related pictures here. We've got Fortis with his wonderful. I'm just going to turn off that. Hide this one.
Oh, mate, is that? I thought that looks like that looks like a White Dwarf picture, man. That's fucking amazing, man.
I thought you liked that.
Yeah, that's well good.
So Fortis, you're a glorious bastard for creating this beautiful looking Ultramarine Dreadnought and then reproducing it in the style of a White Dwarf magazine, and you fooled Garf. So there you go, mate. You got all credits today. Really beautiful job there, mate.
Yeah, that's a really good job, that is.
Yeah, really nice.
I mean, like, especially like you if you were flicking through a White Dwarf in the 90s, man, you saw that, like you wouldn't bat an eyelid, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like that looks that's as good as they get.
Yeah, honestly, mate, it's really, really good work. So well done, Fortis. I really enjoyed that. Now, this is my good friend Brian in the States, Voistrin. He's his username in Discord. The classic Bad Moon.
That painting style is awesome, man. Like the reason that's
really good painter, man. You should see his epic stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah,
his epic stuff really good.
It's got so much character, man. Like, you know, which is lacking in like modern like heavy metal, like just in general, man. I feel like, you know, sort of modern painting, like, you know, everyone's trying to go for that modern GW heavy metal look, and that's like something like that. That's artistry, like, you know, that's you know, you can feel you know
the brush strokes.
Yeah, man, that's sick, mate.
But yeah, now Ryan is also another young guy who's getting into the Oldhammer stuff, which is wonderful, which is really nice to see. His Epic Space Marine collection of orcs is amazing. If anybody's seen that on Discord, I'm really impressed with the amount of detail and the stuff he can do with 6mm miniatures is really.
And that model as well is one of those models that's sort of always eluded me when I was younger. Like you couldn't, even in second edition, he was hard to find. That bloke, he's more of a sort of interim rogue tradery sort of model. Do you know what I mean? He is about, but he's a bit rarer than you would imagine. That one.
He's a fan favorite. I think people who have it, I don't think they want to get rid of it. So
yeah, it's not surprising, is it? He's a
classic, mate.
Sweet model, isn't he?
So Ryan Oystrin, you're an absolute glorious bastard for doing this beautiful paint job, and well done, mate. And last but not least is Whiskey and Wizards with his Arbites, which are absolutely stunning.
Yeah. Is he up the contrast on those, or is it like really that vivid?
He's doing modern techniques, modern paints, modern technical paints or additives to his paints, and he achieved really good results. And
because the contrast on that is like crazy, really, isn't it? Like
it's beautifully done, mate. Oh, look, what's that? Someone subscribed to your channel, mate. Wonderful. Is that Johnny Watson? Johnny West, is it? Good stuff. Anyhow, not to detract from the beautiful paint jobs of the Arbites, Whiskey and Wizards, you're a glorious bastard. So thank you very much again, mate, for your contributions to our Discord and inspiring others to paint better and to paint, and to just paint their miniatures, really.
Arbites.
Is it?
Yeah, I always said when we were younger, like we always just said Adeptus Arbites. But yeah, I mean, when you watch like stuff, they always say the Arbites, don't they? But I always said Arbites. Adeptus Arbites sounds better to me than Arbites.
Garth, it's been an absolute pleasure, mate, having you on today. I've really enjoyed it. We should do this again, my friend, and we'll do it on
the clock ticking down, is it?
The clock's ticking down. Like, I don't want to just cut it out, so I'm going to play the end end like the outro for the stream. I want to thank everybody who's participated in our chat, and of course, I want to thank Garth a lot for 2 hours of his time on a Saturday to come and chat with us. Again, please go and check out Garth's Workshops channel, YouTube channel. Please check out his content. His excellent DJing of the cool sort of retro, 40K inspired house kind of music. What's it called again? Not house music.
Well, there's multiple
Right,
things that you said there is not quite correct. But
I really enjoy it. I really enjoy that. I love it. So don't stop doing that, dude. And your painting videos and stuff like that. I love, I enjoy the interaction there with you and your fans and stuff like that. So keep it up, buddy. Okay, appreciate it, and I hope you get over your hangover soon.
Oh yeah.
And, you're about to start a second one, I think. So, take it easy, buddy.
So that, mate.
Running in a crop and we're killing it.